everybody. My name is Christelle Wren. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at HRLocker, and welcome to today's webinar. Today we will be going through the launch of the new user interface and user experience of HRLocker. As always, we have the questions and answers section open within the system. So if you have any questions at all or any feedback, which I'd love to hear from everybody, please put your questions or comments in the questions and answers section. I'll be happy to take any questions that you have throughout the webinar. Excuse me. So what I'll be doing is I'll be going through a quick run through of perhaps where things have changed, where things have moved. The key thing is in terms of functionality, nothing has changed. The new user interface will be launched for you on Friday. So during that period, you'll be able to use the old one and the new one at the same time. So today I'll just go through kind of any places that have significantly changed. And again, please, if you have any questions, I would love to take them. So I'm just going to quickly. Here's one I prepared earlier. So just going to go to the dashboard here. So as you can see, the actual the colors and look and feel have changed. We've gone to more of a kind of a blue color. But the areas that have changed, I suppose, quite significantly to look at is the settings page. So, well, first of all, it's actually also the black ribbon. So we used to have a black ribbon at the top here. We now have a white ribbon. And the settings button is over here. So this is the overall company settings page. And as you see, it's quite different from what it was. I'm going to go through each one of the areas just to explain, I suppose, where things have moved to and where they used to be. So the first bit here in terms of the settings, if we look at our company section here, you'll see that the account settings have changed over here. It's a little modal that comes up where you can change things here. The custom fields. So this is where you can enter in any of the custom fields that you want to put in for any of the in your personal tab. Okay. The offices. So this remains somewhat the same. It's just that there's a quick click here, and you'll see all your offices listed here. And your feature options, so you can still then edit each different module per office over here as well. So we'll edit that there. We'll go back to company here. I suppose the biggest change when we're looking at this section is there's now a notifications section here. So if I open this notifications section up, you'll see that there's a number of places where if you want, where you can CC people's email addresses. So for example, if you want somebody to get a notification of all the time off requests or sick leave records, that's probably the most commonly used one. Any of the CPD requests, so if you have a training manager that requires that, any of your personal detail changes. So a lot of the time that's for payroll as well. And that's just kind of moved into being one section. They used to be kind of around in each different module. So we've kind of taken all those notification settings and just put them into one place, just so I suppose it's easier to find for everybody. Okay. And then over here as well, this used to be kind of separate to itself. You'll see here, there's the active employees. So here, if you want to look at increasing how many employees you have, we'll see how many licenses you're actually using, what your actual limit is, and if you want to purchase more, you can just press the increase limit and it'll bring you straight there. Your employee access over here. Again, this used to be kind of dilly-dally around the place originally. Now it's got its own specific place to see, well, what do you actually want employees to have access to? Okay, but I suppose really from a look and feel perspective, the settings page has really changed the most. None of the information, or it's not new functionality, it's just, I suppose, put into different kind of folders around the place to make sure it's easier to find for yourselves. Now, I would definitely, I am one of those people that when things change, I hate them on first look. So we do have a little toggle here. We'll have this for the next few weeks, that if you want to go back to the old way, you can just press the old and it'll bring you back to the old settings. So we can have just a look here at the old settings so you can see. So you see here all the CC notifications, we've kind of brought them into that one setting. I think it looks better. The custom fields we've also brought into one settings. So just to make sure and to reassure everybody that we have not gotten rid of any functionality, we've hopefully made it a little bit easier for you guys to see and to navigate your way through. So that's the new page there. The next section that I really liked, was very excited about, and has changed a lot from a look and feel perspective. So we'll go old first. We'll go to the directory page. So again, this is where all your employees are listed. You can be able to toggle through them for offices, departments, teams, and if they're active or terminated. So if we look at the new view, I feel like there should be a drum roll here. The new view, you'll see here that there is all the employees listed, and they're listed as little kind of business cards, I suppose. So the A here is very visual to show that this person is an administrator within the system. And then this person here is an M because they are a manager within the system. And then this person obviously doesn't have an A or an M, so they're just a regular employee. You can toggle through if you want to just look for the Ks or, you know, the Rs, you can look at it that way. In terms of actually when you're going into an employee, this kind of looks pretty much the same. There hasn't been any major changes here other than just around colors and uniformity, things like that. But the overall, I suppose, look and feel from a directory perspective, it has changed quite significantly in terms of what you're actually seeing. The number of reasons for the changes specifically is that it is going to be more mobile responsive. So the app that we have will be, I suppose, a lot more user friendly. So everything is designed specifically to be user friendly on the laptop, but also user friendly on the mobile phone as well within the app. So you can also do a little bit of shortcuts here if you want to just email them directly. And if you've got Teams on as well, there'll be a little Teams link there as well. Okay. The next section that I'm just going to pop into here is the time off section. So this has actually, again, changed a lot in terms of the look and feel of it. So obviously you still have your graphs here, which will show you what how many days you've taken and what your balance is. The major change, actually, we'll go back to the old one here. There's your time off. So you'll see your request time off and your report sick leave are both down here. And then you could log all your time off. So you could view all the time off, all the sick leave and all the manual adjustments that were all one on top of each other. And kind of what caused issues for people was if there was a lot of information here. Yeah, so if there was a lot of information here, you kind of have to scroll through it all, then find the sick leave logs, then find the manual adjustments. So they're one of the areas that we try to kind of focus on improving. When you look at the time off section now, you'll see here that they're tabbed. So you'll see there's the time off request, there's the sick leave logs, and there's the manual adjustment area. So you don't have to kind of scroll through all of that. And there's also just this little new filter here as well, where if you want to filter on by just looking at, for example, if you just want to look at annual leave, or you just want to look at the last 3 months, the last 6 months, those kind of filters have been put in there as well. The other, I suppose, bigger change as well is that if you saw on the old version, there was the time off and the sick leave were underneath the graph here. So they're now instant buttons over here. So if you want to just click the request time off, you'll see this pop up over here that'll come up. And the same with your sick leave. Just to make sure that there is a differentiator between your time off and your sick leave as well. Again, very user friendly on the app as well. The Who's Off calendar hasn't changed significantly. I suppose the main change is that it's just a bit bigger. So I think previously it was only showed around 10 or 11 on the page. Actually, we can go and have a look at that on the old view. Yeah, so if you see here, it only shows kind of 7 people there, whereas you have to scroll down, whereas the newer view, which I think is better. But again, love to hear your feedback. You see it takes up kind of the whole page, so you don't have to be scrolling the whole way down. And again, going into your next month and things like that. The waiting approval, I don't think it's changed much. It's still kind of the same, so you can still see the same information here. I'll see if you're tapping in through different pages. Again, if anybody has any question, I do have one question there that I shall ask. answer is, will multi-factor authentication be given for security purposes? So we do offer single sign-on. So if you are currently using the system, please contact somebody in support or myself, and we can talk you through how to set that up. Okay. So that's kind of the biggest changes from time off. Do you have one nice comment saying that really looks great? Thanks for the update. Thank you, Catherine. Appreciate the feedback. The other nice little update here in time on, again, this is probably just a visual rather than actually any functionality changing. So again, just kind of uniformity around the look and feel around the projects. Your save and approve, things like that. Then again, not a change in terms of functionality, but if we go into the HR document section here. So you can see there's still the essential and the non-essential. The documents have been published. You can download the document there, look at your description, needs to be signed. So, you know, quite easy for the user to come in and sign it. Okay, you can, there are new action buttons here, so you can edit the information if you want to edit it there quickly yourself. So kind of shortcuts there as well, or archive it or send a reminder. Obviously, I haven't signed that document, so send a reminder to me, which is great. So then if we just go back to some of the questions here. So can a review email reminder be CC'd to an admin? Not at the moment, it can't, Angela, but I will definitely write that down and I will see, can we sort that out? And if you want to actually maybe just pop me an email as well, and we can discuss exactly what you're looking for there. Is it possible to have a full year calendar view? So we don't do a full year, but I'll show you what might be easier for you. So if you go to the who's off, you can see the classic view, which will give you the full month all together, but it only give you the month, but it'll give you a full month all in one page. But we don't do the full year. Okay. If you're using your iCal, you might be able to put that in a full year. Is there much change in approval screens? No, they're pretty much the same. So if we go to the awaiting approval, sometimes we might just show a little bit of extra information. So this is a requested on, so you can see the date of the time it was requested on, what the start dates were, the employee, the duration, untaken hours, leave type, and you can view it, approve it, or reject it here. So it's reviewing any notes there. So that's kind of a multi-approve as well. Okay, is there an option now for the administrators to view the page, for example, the review tab as, oops, sorry, it just jumped away there for me. Is there an option now for the administrators to view the page, for example, the review tab as an employee or manager? It would be much easier to help them when I know exactly what they see. So there isn't really, but I suppose when you're logging in specifically to the review side of things, let's just take that as an example. So if I was to maybe select this person, let's see, can I find somebody with reviews? So you're here as Kathy Roberts. So really the only difference that an employee wouldn't have access to would be the settings, the reports, they'd be able to schedule a new review. So this is in effect the same view. When you click into an employee here, it's pretty much the same view other than having access to the settings, if that makes sense. So anytime, even when you look at your time off, for example, and I choose, this is Liz over here, if I choose to go into maybe Owen over here, this is the view that he gets. So that's the actual view. When an employee signs an essential document I uploaded last week, I was not sent an email notification to confirm they signed a doc. Is this just a settings issue? So no, and the reason why we don't do that is perhaps if you'd uploaded a document and to 100 people, I'm presuming you wouldn't want to get 100 emails saying that somebody had it signed every single time. So if you've uploaded a document, what I would suggest is that you come in and check and go into the report section to see who hasn't signed the document, rather than getting an an email once a week saying who hasn't signed it. What you will get is a 21-day offender email to say who hasn't signed them after 21 days. Can the leave colors be shown on the time on screen above the weekly timesheets? So right now, you see here it's blue because this is an annual leave. If they're rostered on, it's purple. If they're sick, it's green. So they are currently shown there. If they're yellow, so I'll just put that there for you. So if I put in, for example, sick leave for next week, maybe. Let's open up and reflect. For that example, for the 4th of April. And if I go to April's timesheet, you'll see here that it's green already. So I think that's what you're asking. So you'll see that green on the top of the timesheet is showing the green, and the brown here is for a public holiday as well. Okay. Will the logging of toil, etc., be any different? So no, that should all be the same. So if you go here to the time off section, let's see, do you have somebody who is time off and leave? I picked somebody there a second ago who goes, yes. So you see here, there's time off in lieu here. The only difference is that the time off in lieu isn't at the bottom of the page. It's now tabbed here. So you'll just go to the tab section and add an adjustment. So it's the same, I suppose. The only difference is that there's just a little, the tab is that it's tabbed rather than the whole way down. Okay, the new calendar layout is a great improvement. Thank you. Have you got some blurb to send employees in advance of the changes? Yes, so we will, after this webinar, we'll send a little bit of information as well to be able to send out to employees as a notification. Where is the manual adjustment button? So again, the same here. So rather than, again, scrolling down, we'll see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 if you're using time off and lieu logs, and the manual adjustment is here. So there's your add adjustment over there. Okay. Is the session being recorded? Yes. Is the mobile app a new service, or is it always there? Do you have to pay for it? So it's always there. So when you go into search for so we have, to really complicate things, we have 3 different apps. So when you go into the App Store, you'll see that there's a clock in and out app, and then there's just a normal HRLocker app. The clock in and out app is specifically only for clocking in and out. It does not give you any other option to do anything. It is a giant button that just says clock in and out. And that's there for clock in and out users. If you're looking for an app to do everything in the system, so that's currently there, and the new UI will go on to that as well. So, and it is specifically designed for mobile. So that you can use at any time, and you don't, there's no extra charge for that. Okay, will these features be updated automatically, or when do they take effect? So it'll come in automatically on Friday. You're still going to have this old and new little toggle up here. So if you're trying to kind of figure out from, you might not be able to find something, you can go back to the old, or if you like me, that I don't like change, I like to use the old for as long as possible. That's it'll be there, and we'll notify you when it's going. Okay. Is there a possibility of copying the previous week's working hours for employees without presetting their working hours? No, so you'll have to set their work patterns to be that. Maybe if you want to contact somebody in support, or even just myself, and we can maybe talk it through exactly what you're looking for. That would probably be better. Okay, so just to note, when an employee submits a request to delete leave and a manager receives an email to accept or reject request leave, the link to the email doesn't bring it to the correct page. Can this be corrected? Yeah, I'm just wondering where the link brings you to. So if you want to maybe just send that on to somebody in support, or just have it again, or you can send it on to myself and we can just have a look at that. Is there something we can send employees? Yeah, so all the tutorials will be updated throughout the system, and we'll also just send you a little pack as well to send to employees to say that there will be an update in the system. Everything stays the same, none of your information has changed, there's been no change in settings or anything like that. Is there much of a change in the clock in and out button? No, it's the same. Has there been any update on the time on app? We have had issues with syncing the time off app to HRLocker desktop version. There shouldn't be any issues. So if you want to maybe just contact either myself or somebody in support just to maybe specifically talk about what your specific issues are, and we can go through it. When will the old version cease? So we're saying it's going to go 3 months with the old version, and that's just from our own side. We have to kind of maintain two different systems. So we'll say 3 months, and hopefully we'll get used to it by then. But if you want to come back and give us any feedback, I really, really appreciate it. What reports can be generated? I'll go into that in just 1 second. Is there much to change the clock in and out button? No. Okay. Now, so I'm just going to go back here. We're going to go to the reports because the reports section has actually changed visually quite a lot as well. And so if you look here at, so previously we'll go to the old one here, reports. Okay. And you'll see here all the reports. We're just going to list it down like this. Might go to another one that has a lot of reports. Yep, you'll see they were just all listed down like this. So again, we haven't changed the reports. The reports are still the same. We're just in the reports section over here. And you'll see instead of being listed down, they're now just kind of hopefully a little bit easier to find, a little bit easier to navigate. You can see all the different tabs are up here then as well in regards to if you need reports on your time on section, your HR documents, your employee section, they're all listed there. CPD reviews, the last one, and then very last one if you're doing payroll reports as well, they're all listed there as well for you. Okay. I'll just look back at some so what reports can be generated. So yeah, hopefully, well, what I would always say with the reports is anything you put into the system you can report out of. All the reports are here. If there's something specific around reports you're looking for, just have a chat to somebody in the support team, and we're able to be able to talk to somebody there. What's the name of the app in the Play Store for standard HRLocker? So it should just be HRLocker. I wonder, Jenny, could you just put a link to the Play Store and the App Store just in regards to the HRLocker app as well? Can the notice board send updates by office, or is an update organization-wide only? The update for the sorry, just one other thing that's really important as well is that to get back to the dashboard, you click the logo up here. Okay, the notice board here is, again, it's still only company-wide, so you can't do a specific message to individual offices, it's company-wide. Okay. Not sure what this means. So if somebody wants to come back to me, is just noted with the new UI, there's still not an option to add a document to a leave request like sick leave record. So if you're logging sick leave, if you want to do like a search for that, so if you just report sick leave, so if you want to tick the box to sick search, you can just upload the document there. I'm not sure, is that what you're asking there? I think that's and this, unfortunately, is asked for all the time, and my answer right now is going to be no. But it is something we're looking at. Is in terms of time off colors, is there any way we can have tailored colors for time off? For example, working from home, a distinct color on its own. I imagine other users would like this. So at the moment, the time off colors remain the same. Oh, sorry. If I go to the who's off calendar here, these colors are the only colors we have to be used at the moment. And that's kind of the way it works. Will we use any data we've already put in the settings or have to update anything? Absolutely not. So none of your data has been changed. We've just put a new lipstick on it, basically. So you do not have to do anything. Your data hasn't been changed or compromised in any way. We've basically just put a new, I suppose, painted the product, for want of a better word. So you will not have to do anything, or your data hasn't been changed, or in fact, we have not changed any data. So that's really important to note, is that it is purely just an update in regards to look and feel. Okay, so, the There are kind of some specific questions here. So a lot of them I would suggest that maybe I'll just run through them quickly, but a lot of them will be quite specific to people. So I'll just spend a minute going through it. And then if anybody has any other specific questions around the UI, we can kind of, I'll go through CPD and then that'll be kind of the last bit we'll look at. So can a manager delegate approval for a specific time frame while out of the office? So no, it will not be a time frame, but in regards to, for example, if somebody is out in the office and you want a specific manager to take over from them for a while. So if you go into Andy, for example, perhaps he's the person who's going to be taking over. You go into his settings over here. And sorry, you wouldn't. You'd go into his permissions over here, and for time off, you would do for selected officers and employees. And you would select the specific employees that he's going to be administrating for that week. But you can't put a time frame on that. You will have to go in and actually take that approval away. Just wondering when the changes will come into effect. So on Friday, it'll come in. You will still always have, this option to go toggle through the old and the new. So that's important. Is there something we can send employees? So yes, we'll send some information on what you can send employees so they're not, okay. No, the clocking now button hasn't changed at all. Can the annual leave be in different colors? So you know what, that's something that I had made comment on as well. So right now they're all in green. Apparently that's a better way to do it. So right now they're all kind of visually, it's all the same color. Okay, so I think that's, I think that's the last one there. Will be loose now. Okay. Sorry. Okay. So the background check sections, yeah. So that'll just remain the same. So I don't think I have it turned on for this person, but yeah. So the background check will just be the same over here. I just don't have it turned on for this account. Okay, so the last bit I'll just show you again. It's not a major change as in regards to the CPD area. You'll see here that the request and awaiting validation has kind of moved up here, so it's no longer down here. So if you want to put in a request, again, a little pop-up will you can choose which ones. These are the requests that have come in. My apologies. If you want to request training, this is where you'll request training from. But it's all kind of the same format, the same. Sorry, it's just a different kind of look and feel of it, but it's all the same functionality. The only last thing that I can show you here is that there's a little quick shortcut here to your own profile. So I'm logged in as Liz McMahon. So if I want to click here, it'll bring me directly to my own profile. And then that's the login button as well. So really appreciate everybody's comments and so many questions. It's lovely to have everybody's feedback, and if there are any specific questions that people have in regards to just their own functionality on the system, please feel free to contact myself or somebody in support. We're always happy to take questions, and also just hear your feedback in regards to what do you think of the new look and feel. If you're like me, when something changes straight away, it takes me a while to get used to it. That it has really been designed with the user in mind to make sure that the system is easier to use. And then two things just to really kind of hopefully put your mind at ease is that nothing within the system has changed in regards to data or settings or anything like that. It is purely just the outer layer that's been changed, but there has been no change in functionality or how you actually use the system. After this, we will send on obviously a copy of the webinar for today, and then we'll also send on a bit of a little information pack that you can send down to employees, just to notify them of any of the changes that are coming on, and if they want to kind of toggle between the old and the new as well. So again, thank you so much for all your feedback. Hopefully that was helpful to you. And again, if you have any questions, I'm always here to take them. So thank you so much, everybody, and we will talk to you all soon.